Hello, cat. Will you say hi to the camera to give me views? Hey, been a minute. I'm in the middle of a big army project right now, but I kind of wanted to take a little break, and should put out this quick tutorial to show you guys how to make your army OSHA compliant with some hazard stripes. No, we're not doing Iron Warriors.
Iron within.
No. So the amount of colors we're going to be using here really depends on how many you want to use and how into it you want to get. You could use as few as 2, just doing your yellow and black striping, or you could get really crazy and do like 4 or 5 of them. Today, I'm just going to be using 3. That is going to be Coal Black from Proacryl, Volcanic Yellow, and Light Rust from AK and Rec. So a lot of times when I'm freehanding, I find a solid base coat to be easier to work with because it really allows me to go back and forth and clean up any mistakes that I've made beforehand. I elected to not do that here because I'm stupid. I really like the effect that I get from this gradient of going from that orange to yellow. It adds a lot of depth and interest to the hazard stripes. Now, if you want to do similar, I suggest using your preferred blending method. I'm going to be doing glazing because it's a blending style that I'm really trying to work on, and you got to get those reps in. I think if you're feeling really crazy, what you should do is maybe mix up the colors. Try different things like teals and reds to see how those hazard stripes come out. Okay, spot you've all been waiting for. The actual stripes. Now, there's a lot of ways to do hazard stripes out there. Obviously, you can mask it off and just do it like that, but I don't think that works for every situation. And this is kind of one of them where I need them to be at an angle, but also go all the way around the object. But who am I to tell you what to do? Use tape, do it my way, do it a different way. Anyway, so my first step is going to be setting the upper and lower limits of where the hazard stripes are going to be. Now this upcoming part is the hardest because it requires actual experimentation ahead of time. I actually have one of the models that I had totally freehanded beforehand as an example to kind of give me a good guideline on where I want these stripes to go and how thick I need them to be. So what I do between those upper and lower limits is I draw a thin line out evenly spaced across them. Here I'm doing 4 of them because I want 5 of the yellow stripes. Now, the more ocularly inclined among you may realize that these are not spaced evenly apart, nor are they particularly straight. And you're right. From here on, what we're going to do is we're going to thicken these lines. We're really going to block them out to add that thickness we need, get them straight, allows us to correct the angle on them, and we can just fill it out to get the even stripes we want. In my own personal opinion, I find it's okay if your black stripes and your yellow stripes aren't the same thickness, as long as they're consistent. Like, you want all of your black stripes to be the same size and all of your yellow stripes to be the same size, but it's okay if those 2 sizes aren't the same. You follow? Now, I think on most surfaces you do, you're really only going to have one side that you have the stripes on. So, congratulations, you're all set. But in the event that you're painting something with more than one side, like a chainsword, you have to carry that paint job over so that it continues to the other side. And it's pretty easy. I do something a little weird on chainswords where I have it angled on the flat spots, but as it kind of comes to those chamfers to wrap around, I straighten it out so that it's perpendicular on the spine of it, but they're angled on the flats. I don't know why, I just think it looks cool. So, go with what I said before, I think most of the models you paint with hazard stripes are really only have one face on that you have to worry about. And I think 90% of the models that have more than one face are gonna be like these guys. So you have one good face on it that's presentable, that this is basically gonna be the only thing you see from a tabletop's perspective. And the other side, you really don't. You rarely see it. So whenever I have to paint the bad side, I just run a line through it. Because I don't need it to be as precise as this first one we did, the side that everyone's gonna see from the tabletop. I just need this to be, when somebody picks it up, it doesn't look like I forgot about the other side of the model. Now on an assault intercessor like this is about as far as I'm willing to take it, just because, well, I have an entire army to paint in only so much time. But if you wanted to take it further, there's a couple of things that are really easy to do so. You can go through and do some different edge highlights, like doing a light ivory on the yellow and a lighter gray on the blacks. Another thing you can do is actually sponge chip black onto the striped areas. This has an added benefit of, if your lines aren't particularly straight, it will really hide it and blend it a lot more. And if you're feeling really insane, you could try and chip it yellow. I don't recommend. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial that now you can go through and properly mark all of the dangerous pieces of equipment in your army. Or you could just paint Iron Warriors. I don't even care anymore.
Iron within, iron without.